So the Aaliyah Boston and Brittney Griner situation is hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious because on the one hand, you've got a player who just plays her game, and absolutely, to say that Aaliyah Boston, the only thing Aaliyah Boston does that is in any way controversial on or off the floor is she if you can see it in this move right here. Basically, you see the way her elbows are. When she plays ball, she keeps her elbows up. So you are absolutely allowed, and she keeps the ball high. You are absolutely legally allowed to turn. The difference is that if you swing, it's a foul. It's a foul, maybe a flagrant. If you turn, it is legal. It is literally one of those moves that, depending on the ref's interpretation, is either completely legal or a flagrant. It's never a common foul. It should never be a common foul, those elbows. But she plays a lot with her elbows. As you guys can see here, playing inside, kind of almost gets the legal hook there with the elbow. She uses them really effectively. And she uses her elbow in a way, look, Aaliyah Boston is I'm saying this because you can tell by the way she moves. She's not trying to hit people in the face. She hits people in the face with elbows. So that is why every single big in this league cannot stand her. Cannot stand her. And you know what? I'm sorry, if somebody is smashing you with elbows constantly, yeah, okay. I think it's going to happen less and less when she plays with Caitlyn, ironically, because her game becomes more of a face-up game. And the thing is with her and Brittney Griner has flagrantly fouled Aaliyah Boston since Caitlyn Clark come into the league. Because I'm not going to lie, I did not watch I don't even think Griner played in 2023. But I didn't watch Aaliyah's rookie year versus Griner if Griner was playing for Phoenix. I did not watch it. But that is, and ironically, when it comes to moving screens, if you know anything about basketball, every single player to an extent sets a moving screen. We are human beings. We are human beings. The urge for us to do that, or that, or that, or brace yourself for contact, or look for contact, or take a step and stop going to the screener is too high. She's not a more egregious moving screen setter than even an Angel Wilson. She is nowhere near the worst for moving screens. That being said, it's not like she's fucking Draymond. It's not like she's running around hitting people. She's playing like a freaking blocker in football. But that being said, it's one of the funny things is if you look here, Aaliyah Boston, Brittney Griner was one of Aaliyah Boston's mentors for Team USA. But that being said, Aaliyah Boston has cooked. And I mean this. Aaliyah Boston has absolutely cooked Brittney Griner so many times. Aaliyah Boston cooked Alyssa Thomas this year in Unrivaled. Absolutely cooked her. But where is the Aaliyah Boston hate coming from? When it comes from the players, it is nothing, whatever about Brittney Griner. Should she have posted what she posted online? No, she's terminally online. Is she well within her right to dislike Brittney Griner or to dislike Aaliyah Boston? Yeah, of course she is. Anyone is within their right to hate or to dislike somebody else. And she was just terminally online and responding to the whole jealousy narrative. And at the end of the day, if you want to make the argument, there could be merit in the fact that Brittney Griner is nowhere near the player she was, and Aaliyah Boston is the young up-and-coming player who's clearly better than her. But that happens in all sports where those players are on the back, not even back nine, 3 of their career. Seeing people still in the front 9 of their career. And they don't really want to take that, and they'll take offense to coming up against the younger players, but that's not necessarily jealousy. That's just I wouldn't use the word jealousy. It happens in every single sport, and we don't use the word jealousy unless it's with the WNBA. However, there's definitely some sort of resentment. Not only that, Brittney Griner did not show up to Team USA trials. She didn't show up to training camp. And people are like, oh, it means she's on the team. No, it doesn't. Brittney Griner doesn't start for her own team. Brittney Griner got benched for Naz Hillman last year. Brittney Griner got deemed unplayable against Aaliyah Boston. And it's not only because of Aaliyah, but it's a lot of it is because of Aaliyah. What Aaliyah Boston has done to Brittney Griner over the last 2 seasons has rendered that archetype of player, whether it be Aaliyah or whether it be Griner, she's the last of them remaining because Kalani Brown's not going to be in the league past this contract. Tierra McCown is gone. Lauren Betts, who's still having a very good year in college, might be All-American first team. People have her potentially going out of the lottery just because of that archetype of player being exposed by the likes of Aaliyah Boston. Look, Aaliyah indirectly has ruined the last however many years of Aaliyah Boston's career due to her playstyle. Ironically, her playstyle has impacted the game for bigs almost as much as Caitlin Clark's play style has impacted the way teams look into the WNBA. Because let's be real, the roster construction 2025 versus 2024 was so different, mainly because of what the Indiana Fever did with Caitlin Clark. But at the same time, there is this hate towards Aaliyah Boston where it's like a justified hate almost. Like, it is a justified hate. Like, the old WNBA fans. And like this, I don't mind seeing a tweet like this. I have no problem with Aaliyah Boston and Brittney Griner not liking each other. And by the way, there's no way Aaliyah Boston likes Brittney Griner either. There is a section now on Twitter who will celebrate Aaliyah Boston. Look, she got clawed to the face. And Brittney Griner just yanked her hand back. Anything could happen. It could have been a damn eye gouge. Anything could have happened. Luckily enough, it seemed like the contact was more here, and it kind of missed her eyes. But like, that was a borderline cheap shot, if nothing, like, intentional. She wanted to get one back after them getting their arms tangled, and because Aaliyah Boston is the smaller player in a lot of these scenarios, she has a lower center of gravity, and she's very physical. People are going to get tangled with Aaliyah Boston, and the fact is that players are going to react. Like, Brittney Griner has shoved Aaliyah twice in the last 2 years. Like, and by the way, it's not like Brittney Griner is some saint either. She's gotten into a freaking fight with Rakia Jackson a couple of years ago when it comes to young players. But there are a large chunk of people online who are celebrating that Aaliyah Boston got clawed. They're celebrating it. And it's funny where it's like, even people are wondering, it's like, why is Aaliyah Boston so hated? And there are 2 reasons Aaliyah Boston is so hated. With the players, it is nothing to do with the relationships, it's just her play style. But in terms of the greater women's basketball community, which is I'll call it the old women's basketball community, not the greater women's basketball community, the old community, the old WNBA media in a lot of scenarios, they were all for Aaliyah Boston during the spell where it looked like Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark weren't going to mesh. There was a 15-game spell where it just did not look like they were going to mesh. When Caitlin had a good game, Aaliyah Boston was scoring in single digits. When Aaliyah had a good game, Caitlin Clark was anonymous. Like, there was a point in time where Nalissa Smith looked like she was going to be the player. Like, there was a point in time where people were questioning whether or not Temi should be starting over Aaliyah Boston, or whether or not Erica Wheeler should be starting over Caitlin Clark. Like, in terms of just pure basketball talk, not obviously you're not doing either of those things because of the marketing. And people were wondering, it was during that time when everyone was on Aaliyah Boston's side, when she was stinking it up, and everyone came out to defend Aaliyah Boston online from those bad Caitlin Clark fans. But then when people realized, okay, yeah, Aaliyah Boston, not only her and Caitlin are extremely close, but she's absolutely has enough self-awareness to know that when you have the bigger platform online, you can't get too high or too low, because if you have the biggest fan base, they will absolutely love you when things are going well, but they will turn on you if things are going bad. And all you have to do is focus on you, because that's something you kind of have to realize when you're at the top of the game. And it's at the top of the game in everything. Like, if you're looking even at freaking streamers, if you're English, if you're looking at what's happened with Angry Ginge, like, the guy was one of the most popular people in all of England, and he goes on I'm a Celebrity, and he's too big for his boots now, and he's mates with a Luke Littler, a darts player, and he just gets abused online. Danny Arons was the same. To an extent, the likes of Ludwig. I'm trying to think of just unproblematic people, because obviously there are unbelievably controversial people that people have reasons to dislike. But like, if you become a big creator, people are going to turn on you. If you people are going to love you, or people are going to hate you. And that's the thing. If you are a prominent public figure, which Aaliyah Boston is, and some of you are saying she's more famous than Brittney Griner. No, she's not. Brittney Griner, for multiple reasons, is one of the most famous WNBA players ever. Obviously, the Russia thing, but there was also, let's not forget, Brittney Griner. There was, up until draft night, there was speculation that the Dallas Mavericks were going to draft Brittney Griner. Mark Cuban said as much. He had like the 50-something pick, and he goes, the 50-something pick is not going to make my team. I'll consider it. Because Brittney Griner was so good in Baylor, and she was 6'9", and dunking with ease. He was literally like, I'll consider it. Obviously didn't. But until draft day, there was rumors of Brittney Griner being drafted. But yeah. Look, it is one of those things where Aaliyah's close relationship with Caitlin Clark. I think Robin mentioned it in his article. I haven't actually read Robin's article, but people are kind of going at Robin's article for mentioning Caitlin Clark for the Aaliyah Boston hate. And if he used that in the context of why Brittney Griner hates her, I don't think he's correct. But if you use that in the context of why the media has kind of turned on Aaliyah Boston, why, and because we know the vast majority of people that are being paid by big sports publications or in the media to talk about women's basketball actively were there because they got their jobs because no one else wanted them, and they despise Caitlin Clark. Like, let's be real. And anything around her. So they despise Caitlin Clark, they despise Sophie Cunningham. You either hate Caitlin Clark or they will turn on you. They will turn on you. And it's like there's all these alliances. Like these are the people that made Dejanay Carrington a bang average player, a household name, because she hacked Caitlin Clark a few times and did that. So and then also Captain Insane on her. But yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That's the video. See you guys.